Council on Foreign Relations is supposedly just a think tank addressing the issues that face America. But the Council on Foreign Relations is a front for the secret society that Cecil Rhodes created. In 1891, it pursues his goal of creating a world government where there'd be no more wars, there'd be no more hunger, there'd be no poverty. Everything would be wonderful and people would live happily ever after. That was basically the dream that Cecil Rhodes had. The Royal Institute for International Affairs that works closely with the monarchy. Parliament in England is simply a front. They don't make the decisions. However, the Council on Foreign Relations is no longer the primary organization. Basically, the existence of this organization was concealed. Very few people knew about it. David Rockefeller controls trillions of dollars. For 15 years, pursuing this globalist program, decided they needed another organization, the Trilateral Commission. And the Trilateral Commission was not only American, it was international. There's a small elite group made up of bankers and financiers and educators who believe in this concept of world government. England and America always work together and put into positions of power dictators who will go along with this idea of world government. And we've recently seen them topple the government of Egypt, of Tunisia, of Libya. They've done it in Iraq, and they've done it in Afghanistan. They create war after war after war because they want to bring about world peace. From 1977 to 2004, every president of the United States and or Vice President of the United States, sometimes both, has been a member of the Trilateral Commission. That was from 1977 to 2008. That would be Jimmy Carter, his Vice President, Ronald Reagan's Vice President, George Herbert Walker Bush, member of the Trilateral Commission, Bill Clinton and Al Gore. Dick Cheney was a member of the Trilateral Commission. George W. Bush was not a member. Barack Obama is not a member of the Trilateral Commission. Barack Obama picked 11 of them to actually surround him. Hillary Clinton is not a member of the Trilateral Commission, but her husband was.
We get a lot of advice from the council, so this will mean I won't have this far to go to be told what we should be doing. And
the Trilateral Commission controls the American government. Now, the American people don't know that. Certainly when Hillary Clinton announced that she was going to resign and Barack Obama suggested we put in Susan Rice as the Secretary of State, Susan Rice came for the membership roles of the Trilateral Commission, discredited because of some remarks she made. So they picked another person for the Secretary of State in the United States. His name is John Kerry, and you'd never guess where he came from. Senator John Kerry, member of the Trilateral Commission. The elite rule America, they rule England, they rule the world today. You can go to their website at trilateral.org, and where, of course, you can see their logo. It's made up of a circle with 3 curved arrows. If you look closely, you'll see their sixes. You'll see the 666 joined together in the center by an upside-down broken cross. This is an occult organization. Cecil Rhodes was involved in the occult. The people who joined with him in this pursuit of a world government were involved in the occult. And it is these occult organizations, both the Council on Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission, which are the major force behind this move towards world government. And if you're coming at this from a Christian point of view, you realize, of course, it's been prophesied for thousands of years. We would establish a world government. We would reconstitute the government that Nimrod tried to produce about 200 years after the Great Flood. And of course, Nimrod wanted to build the Tower of Babylon to reach the heavens. He wanted to replace God with a one world government under his control, and of course that failed. This movement continues today. There were secret societies at the time of Nimrod. There are secret societies today. there really is a mystical world out there. There's a supernatural world. There really are supernatural forces.
Sarah McKechnie is taking her professional and spiritual journey through life with her husband, Dale McKechnie, who is vice president of the Lucis Trust.
They probably thought Lucifer, light bearer, was a good name for their fledgling publishing company when they started to publish the books that Alice Bailey was writing, the books they saw as bringing light to humanity. But within 2 or 3 years, they decided to change the name of the company to Lucis Publishing Company. Lucis being from the same Latin term meaning of light, trust of light, publishing company of light, and that's the name we've had since about 1925. Now, the reference to Lucifer comes from Blavatsky's description of Lucifer in the accurate sense of the term, which is of Latin origin. It means literally light bearer. So Lucifer, to Blavatsky, was one of the great sacrificial beings who descended to earth. That's where we get the idea of the fall of the angels. That was the descent of the solar angels to earth as an act of sacrifice on our behalf.
But is it not so that Lucis Trust, Alice Bailey, was looking for specifically the prophet Maitreya?
The Maitreya is a being, an entity. We're told that when this entity, this avatar, returns, that he will bring humanity a new understanding of the spiritual will. But first, we have to demonstrate that the energy of love is sufficiently anchored in human consciousness to make us able to bear a greater spiritual will. You can imagine a powerful will without sufficient love would be wrongly used. You can imagine a powerful will without sufficient love would be wrongly used.
I'm sure you can see straight away, you'll see that Baphomet is androgynous. They've got the female breasts and the male phallic here. This is work by Aleister Crowley. This is Baphomet again with the wings like the phoenix. And also, remember, you saw this at the Olympics, 2012 Olympics, that they had the rise of the phoenix as well.
Lucis Trust is a non-governmental organization that has an affiliation with the UN. How does your esoteric practice interface with the figures and policies of world government? It's a bit of a reaching question.
The UN isn't a form of government. It's a platform for the governments of the world to come together and try to work out in common ground a solution to problems. A fairly successful resolution might be the way they are approaching the problems in the Middle East. Although, again, not everybody would agree with, say, the stand taken in Libya.
It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind: peace and security, freedom, and the rule of law.
We came, we saw, we died. Did it have anything to do with your visit? Oh, I'm sure it did.
At a 1991 closed-door meeting of fellow internationalists, billionaire and former CFR chairman David Rockefeller praised his media allies. But his confidence that his words would not leave the room was later broken.
We are grateful to the Washington Post, the New York Times, Time Magazine, and other publications whose directors have attended our meetings and restricted their promises of discretion for almost 40 years. It would have been impossible for us to develop our plan for the world if we had been subject to the bright lights of publicity. But the world is now more sophisticated and prepared to march toward a world government.
We don't want your world government! Leave Chile right now! Leave Chile, okay? Leave Chile! Your family is the most disgusting in the world, you know? You're a traitor to Chile, okay? You're a traitor to Chile, depending with him in this. Your world government will fail, okay?